up, YouTube? G4 Leader here once again, back with another video for you guys, and today's topic will be on the backlash that's happening towards Sony for having an exclusive deal that has basically puts Spider-Man as an exclusive character in the Avengers game that's coming out this September. And the reason there's a backlash is, like I said, you have to have a PS4 to play as Spider-Man. So that means on the Xbox side of things and the PC side of things, you can't really play as Spider-Man. This is strictly a PlayStation exclusive, and people feel like that's not fair. People feel like they hate that idea. It's pretty much the Xbox fans, the Xbox and PC fans. They feel like they should get Spider-Man 2. This basically raises the question of Sony, and do they have ownership over Spider-Man, and that's the reason this is happening. And to answer that, no, they only have ownership of the movie properties. They don't have no ownership over the actual character. Marvel's still in control of Spider-Man as the character. So you're probably asking, why is this deal happening then? I'm pretty much wondering that myself, but if I had to speculate, I think with Spider-Man in the movie side of things, you remember when they was going through that argument when they were saying that Sony and Marvel couldn't reach an agreement about the movie character, and they was going to put and Tom Holland was basically leaving the MCU. I feel like when they restruck a deal over there, this Avengers game was already in development, and Sony had that as a part of the deal, that they get Spider-Man as an exclusive character in this game, you know. So I feel like that's probably how that came into fruition. That it was somewhere in that movie deal. Somewhere it had to be in that movie deal, because I remember that distinctly. They were saying that he was leaving the MCU, and then they renegotiated. So I'm just speculating that that had to be a part of the renegotiation parts of things. But how do I feel about the backlash in general, though? You know, I feel like people fucking whining. You know, if I'm really being truthful, I feel like people being big babies about it, because people was already dissing the game already. If you look in the comments section, people was already trashing it, saying the game looked shitty, they wasn't going to buy it, it looked terrible, the character models look like off-brand versions of themselves, they hate the character designs, it looks terrible and buggy. So people was already bitching about the game and complaining, saying they probably wasn't going to play it anyway. And now it seems like these same people kind of whining that they don't get to play as Spider-Man in it. It's just kind of like, yo, what the fuck? How do you speak out of both sides of your mouth? Like, this game looked trash, and I'm probably not gonna play it. Hey, wait a minute. To play PlayStation, get something exclusive? That's not fair. Like, what? You're getting mad over something you wasn't gonna even play anyway. That shit's just crazy to me. I just feel like it's not a big deal. I feel like companies been doing this forever. I don't know if you guys remember back when Soul Calibur came out in the early 2000s. I remember they did it. I remember for PlayStation, you had Heihachi as an exclusive character. So you had to have PlayStation to play as Heihachi. And for GameCube, you got to play as Link. You know, from Zelda, you got to play as Link, so you had to have a GameCube to play as him. And for Xbox, you had to play as Spawn. I mean, you got to play as Spawn, so you had to have an Xbox to play as Spawn. They had exclusive characters. They've been doing this shit, so I don't get why it's a backlash now that they're doing it now. I don't like, what's the discrepancy from back then when they used to do it to now? But yeah, I just feel like it's people just like, I just feel like they want Sony to do bad business. Like, if they renegotiated to let Spider-Man be in the MCU, they had this as a clause in their deal. Why do y'all want them to do bad business? I feel like it's smart on Sony's part. I feel like this way, people who don't have a PS4 yet and want to play as Spider-Man, they'll go get it. You know? So I feel like it's smart business by Sony. It drives people to pick up the game for PlayStation 4. It drives people to want to have a PlayStation 4, you know, to ride with Sony. It's business. Yeah, I just feel like it's pointless complaining about it. I just feel like it's an exclusive character. Y'all didn't even give a fuck about Spider-Man and his games previously until Insomniac even built Spider-Man up. Insomniac and Sony put in all of that hard work to make a good Spider-Man game. They did all the heavy lifting. Not Xbox, not PC. They didn't do all the heavy lifting. Insomniac and Sony did. They built Spider-Man games up. Before that, what we have? The Amazing Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, Web of Shadows, Shattered Dimension, I think that was one. We had terrible Spider-Man games that none of you went out and bought anyway. None of y'all went out and played these games. But now that Sony and Insomniac made Spider-Man something, now y'all demand access to them. I just feel like, come on now. Be reasonable. I feel like the people that built Spider-Man games up to where they are, they should have exclusivity. That's me anyway. I don't know how long this exclusivity deal may last. Maybe Spider-Man might be DLC for Xbox later and PC later. But as it stands now, I feel like it's perfectly fair that they're doing it this way. It's fair. Sony and Insomniac did all the heavy lifting, you know, and it's good business for Sony. So I just feel like it's fair. And if I was at Sony, I probably would have did the same thing. But anyways, I'm about to get out of here. You guys hit me down in the comments down below. Tell me your thoughts on the topic. Do you feel like Spider-Man should have been on all platforms, or do you feel like Sony is doing a smart business move? So let's talk about it. G4 here signing off, and thank you guys for watching.